Chiefs are out of the playoffs already. Oh no, that means no Taylor Swift this year. Unless, of course, she'd like to come with a fan instead of a starting tight end. She can always go with me, but then again, she'd have to wear a Rams jersey. Did you guys see Miami, Texas A&M? The final score was 10-3. What are you guys doing? Nobody told you to go out there and play soccer. All right, New Year's resolutions. Okay, here we go. Stop following Rockstar Games' progress on GTA 6. The Lions out of the playoffs as well. Did you guys watch the game when they played against the Steelers? Wow, what an ending. Offensive pass interference, defensive pass interference. You know, you guys realize that you're on camera, right? There's refs on the field with you. Start following random people in the middle of nowhere just in case they do something amazing, like show us how they spit and go viral. Follow the progress on GTA 6, and if it does release this next year, go ahead and buy a PS5. Spend less time watching football and more time watching college football. All will not be quiet on New Year's Day. No, not here in America, because we've got bowl games. Yes, the college football quarterfinals happens December 31st, as well as on New Year's Day. We've got 4 big matchups for you. We'll talk a little bit about that later in the show. By the way, what kind of an ending was that? The Detroit Lions and the Steelers. My God, just atrocious. No, this is what we need in football. A little more chaos and confusion, really. We'll talk about that, a little bit of baseball, and, you know, what's going on with the Colts and the Giants. You know, they both dropped every bit of their last 5 games. We are a long ways away from Unitas gives to Amici. The Colts are the world champions. Of course, before we do our Pick 6, I want to ask you to go ahead and hit that like button and the subscribe button. We are always bringing you the latest content, always picking games for you here, NFL, soon to be NHL and NBA as well. Thank you guys again for all your views. We love you tremendously, and I hope you've enjoyed this season. It's been a wild ride. Okay, we've got a slew of games here for you as always. These are all NFL games, no college stuff, no NHL. So let's go ahead and get into it. Of course, last week we went 3-3 on the winners. And I believe we were 0-1 on the over-under, which is just awful. We would have done a lot better had the Lions not collapsed at the end of the game there, you know, monumentally. You got to give it up to Goff, though. You know, just a stellar performer no matter what, you know, with the final call ending the game there. Still give it up to Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers. We're going to start this week with the Texans at the Chargers. Chargers are 1.5 point favorites going into this game. They're 11-4. The Texans are on the up, though. They're 10-5. A lot of people say they're the hottest team in the league this year, or so far, or you know, at this present time. We're going to go ahead and say that it's going to be the Texans over the Chargers, 24-23. The Texans, I think they get into the playoffs with a win here. Either that or a loss by another team. I believe it's how it goes there. The over-under is 39.5. So we're going to pick the over. Again, Texans over the Chargers, 24-23. Next, we've got the Jaguars at Colts. Now, this is a good game. The Jaguars are a very, very good team. They're a hot team. Yeah, looks like they've been doing a lot better during the last 5 games than the Colts. The Colts are 0-5 throughout that time, and the Jaguars are just the opposite. We're going to pick the Jaguars to win 30-14. They're giving us 47.5, so we're picking the under. You know, the Jaguars are 6.5 point favorites. I think they're just going to win it by, 16 points. They're just going to completely dominate the Colts. You know, Phillip Rivers, that's a nice story. I like Phillip Rivers. Nobody has ever thrown the ball in a laser-like fashion, such as Phillip Rivers, especially when he was playing for the Chargers all those years. But we are picking the Jaguars to win 30-14. That is the under. Next, we've got the Seahawks at Panthers. This is going to be an interesting game. You know, the Seahawks everybody thinks they're going to win coming in, I believe. They're 7-point favorites. But here's the thing. I like what Bryce Young has been doing there with the Panthers. Really showing himself to be probably their present and future quarterback there. They're going to win 21-17. It's going to be a 4-point victory. They win outright, and it's the under. 21-17. Panthers over the Seahawks in Carolina. Now Carolina does need to strengthen their defense a little bit. I will give it that. But other than that, I think it's a 21-17 victory for them this week. All right, next we've got an interesting game. This is the outlier. Usually we pick two teams who've got a winning record. This time we're picking the Giants at Raiders game. Why? Because I'm nicknaming this the Draft Bowl. Because the winner of this game will probably have to drop to number 2 in the picking order for the draft. The loser of this game will probably get the very coveted number 1 draft pick position in next year's NFL draft. There's so many reasons why you want to pick the Giants in this one. 23-19 is what I'm going with. They're both 2-13. Awful records, but nobody loses like the Raiders. I mean, they've got like 12.5 points average scored on offense during the last 5 games. It's absolutely ridiculous. I don't think anybody can lose like the Raiders, and that doesn't mean that I dislike the Raiders. I think they're a great organization. Very few teams in sports have the iconic cachet, the fan awareness that the Raiders have. The Yankees have it, the Dodgers have it, the Lakers have it, the Raiders have it. I think that's about the extent of it. And Notre Dame Fighting Irish probably. Okay, we're picking the Giants to win 23-19. That is the over. They're giving us 41.5. So we're going with 42. Just over, actually. Yeah. Next we've got a big game. The Eagles at Bills. This is going to be a big game. Sunday at 1:25 p.m. PST. The Eagles are 10-5 and the Bills are 11-4. Now, the Bills are 1.5-point favorites going into this game. But I'm going to pick the Eagles to win outright 20-18. Why? Because the Bills have disappointed me in the past when I've picked them. If I held that against every team that did that, I'd have no favorites at any time. But still, the Bills and the Lions tend to stand out as two teams you don't want to lay your money on when it counts. Having said that, let's just go ahead and say that. Eagles 20-18, it's the under. And last but not least, Sunday Night Football, 5:20 p.m., the Bears at 49ers. This is a huge game. Okay, not the least reason of which is that the 49ers are probably the top offense in the league right now. Brock Purdy putting it together there. I think they're going to win 35-33. You got to give the Bears a lot of points in this one. Why? Because they're the Bears. Both teams are 11-4. It's going to be the over, 35-33. I just like. I think they're both evenly matched on defense, but I do give the edge on offense to Brock Purdy and the 49ers to win at home. And 35-33 will be the final score. Again, that is our 6 for the week. Thank you guys for watching the show. Please gamble responsibly and enjoy this weekend's games. On New Year's Day, we've got 3 big bowl games. Of course, the Capital One Orange Bowl, the Rose Bowl, and the All-State Sugar Bowl. I'm looking forward the most to the Rose Bowl because you've got number 1 in the nation, Indiana, facing off with number 9, Alabama. I mean, you talk about 2 huge teams coming into what for me is the biggest college football game ever, which would be the Rose Bowl. Now, I know folks in other parts of the country you would think or tell me that the Cotton Bowl is more important, that the Sugar Bowl or the Orange Bowl are more important. And I think that you're probably right. I just happen to have the California point of view. That's why I picked the Rose Bowl. So, this year at these quarterfinals in the college football playoffs, Cotton Bowl is Ohio State versus number 10 Miami. I'm not sure Who to pick on this one after that performance by Miami against the Texas A&M? I mean, Ohio State, they did lose to Indiana, but I don't think they're gonna come out and stink it up like Texas A&M did. I think I would favor Ohio State on that one. Of course, my unofficial pick. Um, that is in the Cotton Bowl, which is December 31st. Oh man, we got to make sure we keep on these things because then they'll pass me by. Well, on New Year's Day are the three big ones: the orange, the rose, and the sugar. In the Orange Bowl, you got number 4 Texas Tech, the Red Raiders, facing off against number 5 Oregon. Oregon. I can't count them out. I can't count them out. I just think Texas Tech has been really tough this year. I got to unofficially pick Texas Tech. I got to go with them. I like the Ducks. They did lose to the Hoosiers when we picked the Hoosiers earlier in the year, but I do like the Ducks. How can you not like a team that is so experimental with all their uniforms and their equipment, and they've got such a good contract with Nike. I think Nike started in Oregon or something like that. We're gonna go with Indiana to beat Alabama. I gotta still keep on that Hoosiers bandwagon, because they are proving themselves to be up to the task so far. I mean, they beat Ohio State for the Big Ten championship. So we'll go with them, and then in the Sugar Bowl we'll pick Ole Miss. Why not, to beat the Bulldogs? Just because they got the name Ole in there. No, I'm just kidding. Just because they're probably the underdogs. They're number 6 in the nation. The Bulldogs are number 3. I do like Georgia. Don't get me wrong. Georgia's great. Between the hedges, all that good stuff. But we're gonna. Who is the team that played at the big sombrero, or what was? I don't even know. Maybe that was something else. That's it as far as the college football quarterfinals. It's going to be I think it's going to be an epic college football postseason. Strange that we're not going to have the Chiefs in the playoffs this year, isn't it? I mean, wow. It's been a long time. I think they need the rest. I don't know if Andy Reid can pull it off, and come back and bring that organization back to that zenith that they've achieved in the past. But then again, you look at teams like the Patriots with a whole new roster, complete makeover of their team. They don't have the same coaching staff. They don't have the same players. I believe only the ownership is the same. And they've got Drake May out there, and they're showing themselves to be just a work in progress, but a work that is working towards greatness again. You got to watch the Patriots, And here we are in week 17. Can you believe it went by so fast? What are we going to do without football? God forbid, we watch hockey, right? Actually, I've been meaning to watch hockey. I just never get around to it, but it's sad because when football's around, it's hard to concentrate on any other sport, especially because you got college football too. A lot of people don't like college football, but I do. Check this out. This was a gift that Mom got me years ago. The Big Green. Anybody remember that movie? That's that kid from The Sandlot, remember? You're killing me, Smalls. And by the way, check it out. This is my Blockbuster Rewards card, membership card. Yes, I was part of that exclusive club. And if you think about it, every year it gets more exclusive. If you really think about it. Well, what else? I mean, what a year it's been in sports. I mean, the World Series was just shocking. All around shocking. But in a good way if you're a Dodgers fan like me. I don't like the fact that, and this is how we'll end the show, I'm always looking for a way to end the show. This is how we'll end the show. The White Sox signed, the big slugger from Japan. I believe it was Miyamoto or... Oh, man, I'm so awful at names. Yeah. Let me see. And, Japanese names are so easy. Slugger signed by White Sox. Spelling doesn't matter because Google knows we're stupid. Or at least that I'm stupid. White Sox newest slugger, Munetaka Murakami. Oh, gosh. I was really hoping he'd become a Dodger, but no. He's a White Sox. At least I can be happy that he's going to be competing with the likes of the Yankees. You guys are going to have to deal with him. He's not in the National League. We don't have to deal with him. Ugh, unless we end up facing him in the World Series. Wouldn't that be something? Dodgers, White Sox World Series? That would be something. What else we got? We're just sort of just straggling along here. I guess maybe we'll start heading towards an end here. Did you guys get everything you wanted for Christmas? Boy, I ate tamales and chicken and just all kinds of stuff. It's been great. It's been great. I do appreciate the holidays and loved ones. You have to do that because in this world, that's all we have. We have each other and we have our memories and our experiences. That's, at the end of the day, that's the only thing you take with you. You don't even take your clothes. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. Enjoy this weekend's games again, and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let's see if we can get some exciting bowl action this New Year's Day.